Hello, hello, hello. What a Grammy night. And welcome to ET Live, y'all. I'm Denny Directo.
And I'm Cassie Delora. We are fresh off the red carpet. We just watched the show. How you feeling?
You know what? I'm hyped. You talked about this once we wrapped the red carpet. The adrenaline.
We're going to be filled with adrenaline,
our veins.
excitement.
Excitement.
For me, it's tears.
Tears?
We just had to have our glam team come back on set to fix my makeup
because
I was in tears because Kacey Musgraves just took home Album of the Year in addition to Country Album of the Year. Unbelievable moment for her, for women in country music.
So true.
Someone who has stuck to their roots with the lack of support from country radio
right.
and is able to take home this Grammy.
Guys, a country album hasn't won Album of the Year in nearly 12 years. The last person to do it was the Dixie Chicks.
Get out the cowboy boots. Get out the cowboy hat. We're going to Nashville.
We're going to Nashville. It is a big deal. And I will say, you know, Album of the Year, this year, the top 4 general categories, they expanded the number of nominees from 5 to 8. So for us all week long, all month long, however long the nominations they've been out, it's been hard to predict who's going to win. And we had a couple horses in this race, no pun intended, but the high horse won.
Yes, I've converted him.
You did. I will never forget listening to Golden Hour on the way to Las Vegas. I was driving through the desert, y'all. I'm saying y'all.
Look at him. I've done my job.
I text her, I go, this is a vibe. This album was just pitch perfect from beginning to end. The
crazy thing is, though, is when Kacey took home Country Album of the Year a little bit earlier in the night, we kind of talked about, we said, is this going to take away from Album of the Year? We thought maybe the Recording Academy would give her the love there, but not in the general field. Proving everyone wrong, although I feel like I always knew deep down in my heart she had a really good shot at that. And just like I said, what it means for her as a artist, as a woman in country radio or country music, but also as a songwriter, because this album puts her songwriting and her storytelling on full freaking display. I mean, a couple of her songs were literally written while she was on an acid trip on her porch outside her house. And, you know, this album, Golden Hour, really dives into, I don't want to say genre blending, but she does have like the pop disco vibes to it. She writes in a uniquely Kacey way. Didn't conform to anybody else's wishes of, hey, maybe you shouldn't do this or shouldn't do that. She wrote what she wanted. She sang what she wanted. And look, she just got a Grammy for it.
And you talk about the genre bending, 2 of them. She mentioned that, you know, she is country through and through. That is never going to change. But with this album, she took some liberties. She wanted to throw a little disco.
Yes.
Wanted to throw a little
because that is her. That is, I literally think her blood is made of glitter.
Listen,
that is her.
She had a good showing 2 albums ago with her debut album, right? She won her first Grammy then. The next one, I guess the Recording Academy kind of slept on it, and then she came back strong.
Y'all, I'm so excited about this one.
But
she just is.
What tough competition. Like, that's another reason why I got to give it up to Kacey, because she was up against some heavy hitters. You had a lot
Cardi B, Drake, I mean.
The Black Panther album, you know what I mean? Not to...
Look at that.
I mean, it's beautiful. But, you know, there were, you know, I do have to say, though, out loud, that it's another year that hip-hop was a little slighted by the Recording Academy. I mean, we haven't had a hip-hop album win Album of the Year since Outkast, and I think it was 2004. I was wondering if this was the year to do it, given just how culturally relevant and how socially conscious albums like the Black Panther album were. You know what I mean? Even Drake's to some extent.
But what was
Janelle Monáe, Brandy Carlisle. Like, there were so many important records on here. I mean,
but what was the stat that you said, though, about country albums?
12 years.
12 years. So, I mean, finally giving country some love, too.
And we know, guys, that the Grammys are subjective. I think Drake even said it in his speech. But please let us know what you think about Kacey Musgraves taking Album of the Year.
This is how I feel about it.
I know. Oh, my God. I forgot to even sip on my champagne. Cheers to Grammys night, you guys. And also...
This is my sparkling water.
I'm actually... it's been a long day.
It has been a long day. And a long ceremony.
Long ceremony.
You guys, a little over 3 hours. And we tallied up all of the artists, who won what, how many did they win. 2 artists topped the night, Childish Gambino and Kacey Musgraves, who both took home 4 Grammys. She's got to dust off some room in her house.
And one of them actually bothered to show up.
Kacey?
Childish, where were you, buddy? Donald, it was a big night for you. I was hoping to see him. No, but he did take 2 of the top prizes for sure, which we'll get into in just a few.
Minute, yeah.
But you guys, we got to talk about the opening of the Grammys. Miss Alicia Keys, the host, brought out Gaga, Jada Pinkett Smith, J-Lo, and Michelle freaking Obama.
Now I know why when we couldn't get into the top of the carpet when we were trying to do our jobs, because there was so much security. There were dogs sniffing everywhere.
Yeah.
There were cops who were taking, you know, things underneath cars, checking them. Now I know why. Michelle Obama was in the building.
I mean, an amazing, amazing moment. And in case you guys missed it, we have it for you right here.
Who runs the world? Thank you so much, ladies, for your light, your message, your love, your sisterhood. I love y'all so much. We love you.
I love that she says who run the world, girls, because you know we have to know. Obviously, Alicia is a woman hosting. 6 out of the 8 Best New Artist nominees were women. The Recording Academy had 2 lovely women holding down their red carpet live stream. Hi, thanks, guys.
Right. That's right. You guys did it beautifully too.
It was just a night of girl power.
It was a night of girl power.
The tribute to Dolly Parton, the tribute to Aretha Franklin, Diana Ross, all of that female power right there on the stage at Music's Biggest Night. I can't even talk.
I know,
It got me so shook.
It's the Recording Academy making good. Dua Lipa made light of it a little bit during her Best New Artist speech when last year he said when all the top categories were dominated by men, Neil Portnow, the Recording Academy president, had said, well, I think women need to step up, you know? And so clearly they stepped up and they showed out tonight, you know what I mean?
Alicia Keys showed out, you guys.
Woo!
She was truly, you know, the woman of the night, I will say, besides Casey Musgraves too, hosting and performing. I mean, the stage was her home most of the night, like doing double duty. Look at this, literally on 2 different pianos.
Double duty, literally. I mean, this is a woman who has 15 Grammys to her name, but also she knows the room. She knows the vibe. I will say, I was surprised by how much they were putting her to work.
We were a little confused, though, why she was covering her eyes when she was presenting some stuff and reading off the prompter. Like, half of her face was hidden. I'm like, you can't do Alicia like that.
No, you can't. But she brought out the big
But she did a good job. I will say that.
And she got Michelle Obama to the Grammys. Guys, fun fact, you know, apparently it was so loud when Michelle Obama stepped onto that stage. The crowd was going nuts that she could barely speak because she could barely hear. I mean, everyone was going absolutely insane for Michelle, and rightfully so.
And Alicia's performances, we have to like give a little love right there too, because they were so good. Like kind of doing samples of everyone else's music.
Some covers, I want to say it was like Record of the Year winners, maybe sprinkling in some of the Song of the Year nominees and stuff. I think it was Song of the Year nominees too, because she sang Boot Up by LMA.
Yes.
Yeah, so anyways, it was an amazing, amazing night.
Well, one of tonight's big winners was one not many people expected to show up, which was Drake, although I expected him to be there.
Why?
Because I was at Grammy rehearsals for the performances on Friday, and I saw his placement on his seat. And I was talking to some of the execs at the Recording Academy, and they're like, yeah, we're so thrilled to have him this year. A lot of people didn't expect him to be there, but is this like a secret that I just kept?
No, I know that, right? Apparently,
I told you too, and you doubted me. I'm like, dude, I saw the seating card.
I was like, I don't think he's coming. I'm like, where are the receipts? Show me the receipts.
I literally had you didn't trust my word. My eyes, I saw it for myself.
I think it had a lot to do with 2 things. One, Ken Ulrich, the Grammys executive producer, told the New York Times that both Drake and Kendrick turned down performances, an opportunity to perform at the Grammys. And I think there has been, and I mentioned this before, you know, hip-hop is getting a bad rap, no pun intended, at the Grammys, you know, especially in these top categories. And so Ken had mentioned in that New York Times article that he's like, you know, apparently we're not giving enough love to hip-hop, and like they're, you know, now they're kind of backing out, backing down from showing up at the Grammys. You didn't have Jay-Z this year, you know, Childish Gambino. At the same time, though, Drake did show up.
A lot of people were surprised. I mean, we knew if he was going to show up that he wouldn't do like the red carpet or anything like that.
Well, that was the other thing. I didn't see him on that red carpet.
No, he doesn't. He pulls a Jay-Z and Beyonce, and somehow he gets inside with not one person noticing.
Well, he did get away with 1 Grammy. Let's listen to a little bit of a speech.
Look, the point is, you've already won. If you have people who are singing your songs word for word, if you're a hero in your hometown, Look, if there's people who have regular jobs who are coming out in the rain, in the snow, spending their hard-earned money to buy tickets to come to your shows, you don't need this right here. I promise you. You already won.
See, Drake dropping a little bit of truth here. I mean, it's all subjective. You know, I'm sure if you guys had it your way, you might pick someone else to win that.
Right.
You know what I mean? But it was nice for him to give some credit to other artists being like, no, the win is your fans. The win is that success.
You know what is crazy to me? So when I was also at the rehearsals on Friday night, so Dan and Shay, they had just finished their rehearsal for Tequila, right? And then their next duty was to present Best Rap Song. And so when you do it, obviously they do kind of like a full run through of that moment in the show, and
with fake
Dan
winners,
and Shay, with fake winners who come out of exactly where Drake came out of, people who come up from seats to, you know, just so they can get all the shots for the camera. And Dan and Shay literally called out, and the winner goes to God's Plan, Drake. And I literally was like, they're not gonna announce the winners here at the rehearsals. But it looks like they spoke that into existence a little bit.
They did, but when you saw them announcing other categories, did they match up tonight?
To be honest, I don't remember.
Okay.
I'll think about that one again, because I only caught 2 rehearsals. It happened to be just a coincidence, because I do believe on the nominations list, I believe he's at the very top. And so I think that's how they were doing it. Whoever happened to be at the very top, that's the one they would read. I just find it very ironic.
It is very ironic.
Came to fruition.
Well, listen, Drake won his 4th Grammy tonight, but you know what? The Recording Academy seemingly cut his speech off a little short. A lot of people have been tweeting about it, including, of all people, Sinbad. Sinbad wrote, did they just cut Drake? Oh, this is actually another one. It says, as soon as Drake said, you don't need this, the Grammys got vexed on him. I can't make out who tweeted that, but here's another reaction. The Sinbad, here we go. He wrote, did they just cut Drake off? Damn, I was digging what he was saying.
Listen, in Drake's defense, they cut off a lot of people tonight because that show went almost 3.5 hours long.
Poor Dua Lipa. She got cut short too. She got cut short too.
All right, you guys, moving on to another category that got lots of buzz. Song of the Year went to This Is America by Childish Gambino, aka Donald Glover. I was really sad that he was not there, because I had so many questions for him.
But exactly.
I want to know if this is a swan song, okay?
I know, right? Something tells me, because you know he has said reportedly that this is the last.
Yeah, he's always
Gambino
said Childish is a temporary project, so I wanted to get the answers.
For sure. Well, you know what? You can't get rid of Donald Glover. He's too good. He's a creative force. I feel like he's gonna merge as something else, but. If this is his swan song, what a way to go out.
Right,
this is
100%.
such an important song, an amazing music video, which also won a Grammy tonight. I just felt like what it did for culture, but also just the effect it had on people. I mean, I had to watch this twice. I just
really understand it,
Well, that, and it just was so visceral. You know what I mean? It also won Record of the Year. I mean, it was such a huge, huge night for him. Again, he wasn't there to accept it.
I know.
But I think it went to, I think it also showed a switch in the Grammys. You know what I mean? I think they finally are recognizing some really socially conscious work.
Music that matters.
Music that matters. Well said, Kaz. Exactly. As we mentioned earlier, though, it was definitely a great night for women at the Grammys, and for Cardi B in particular, as she took home her first Grammy for Best Rap Album for Invasion of Privacy.
The rapper also performed her song Money off the album, so you know what? She has a lot to be proud of tonight, and you could tell how just proud she was and genuinely surprised, to be honest, when they panned to her when she won. And I love seeing artists like that, so overcome with emotion, and we were like, oh my God, is she gonna kiss Offset? Is she gonna kiss him?
You know, that's what I was looking for.
It was a hug, but you could tell it was a moment of pride for, I feel like, both of them.
My favorite was Offset's reaction to her Grammy performance. Let's take a look at what he was reacting to first before we go to his face. But this is Cardi B performing Money.
And if it looks so my lips so cute, I kiss him in the mouth, I feel all grills, heat in the car, that's goes on wheels. Woo, 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 woo. I was born to flex, diamonds on my neck.
Okay, you see that? She was bringing all
the
of the sex
choreography.
appeal. Oh yeah, I mean, I don't know how she did that. Here is Offset's reaction. Tongue out. I mean, I can only imagine what he's thinking right there.
You said it. You said it when we were watching it. He's
like, okay, that's
he and Cardi are gonna celebrate tonight.
Oh,
that's for sure.
You know what? Last year, Cardi was pregnant at the Grammys. This year, something.
Now I know why. They do a lot of celebrating.
They do a lot of celebrating.
A lot of
This is them
celebrating.
kissing on the red carpet. So, you know, a picture tells 1,000 words. She told ET's Kevin Frazier back at the Super Bowl
Okay,
that
that's
they
like
are working things out. Something tells me they're almost there. They're almost back.
Almost
But what I
there.
was going to say is, like, you know, she was pregnant last year. This year, something tells me Cardi is turning up after these Grammy wins and that performance, which, by the way, though, a lot of y'all pointed out, I saw it too. Was she lip syncing? Oh,
Maybe there was a delay.
I don't know.
I'm not gonna lie, it looked like it at the
looked
very
like she was
beginning.
lip syncing, but then I suspended my disbelief because
Well,
I
as
couldn't
Brittany
believe she was
says-
putting in that work and then the
Well,
peacock feathers
that's the
and
thing, as Brittany says, like when you're doing that, all of that,
Look, and that
yeah,
I can't.
it's
All
hard
right.
to do both, I guess.
It was
I don't
pretty
know.
epic. It was pretty epic.
All right, we have to give a huge congratulations to Dua Lipa, who took home Best New Artist. This one I feel like
called
was
it.
like a crapshoot. Like it could have gone to anybody.
But she had a lot of momentum going into this award show. I could not be more thrilled for her. Also, shout out to Dua because she was nominated for her first 2 Grammys, won both.
And okay, you talked to her at the Grammy
I did.
Museum, what,
Yes.
like a couple months ago?
Yes, I talked to her, I think it was at the end of last year at the Grammy Museum, and this was before the nominations were announced, and I asked her what it would mean to take one home eventually, and she goes, it would just be an honor to be nominated, and I just felt like in her answer, she didn't want to jinx it, Cass.
Right.
I felt like I was like, dang, you are really humble about this. Well, girl, now that you got your 2 Grammys, how do you feel? Well, I found out firsthand when I got to talk to her on the red carpet just moments after she found out that she won Best Dance Recording. Check it out. When I talked to you at the Grammy Museum, you were very humble about what a nomination would mean, but now you're a winner. How does it feel?
Crazy. Honestly, I still feel like I'm like floating on a cloud. I still can't quite believe it. It's still so surreal. I'm going to need a couple days to process it, and honestly, I only just found out, and it's taking me a second.
I'm surprised you still have your makeup together because you cried during the nomination.
No, I was just saying, in my last interview, my makeup is like literally slowly fading away at the end because my eyes are watering, and I'm really trying to hold it together just while I do the red carpet, and then I don't care.
Well, in the video, when it was announced that she won that award earlier in the night, she dropped to the floor, as one would do when you win a Grammy, I would imagine.
Dua winning a
and then
Grammy
when
is us
she
winning
won
a Grammy.
again during the telecast, she was just head in palms, just beside herself, and you know, I feel like she genuinely didn't see it coming.
I'm not saying I'm a good luck charm.
You're a good luck charm, apparently.
Talked to the Grammy Museum, she got a nomination.
Then you talked to her on
red
the carpet.
She won Best New Artist. You're welcome, Dua. All right. But let's talk about Shallow. Shallow took home the ceremony's first trophy of
It's
the
because
night.
I talked to Mark Ronson.
That's
on the
right,
carpet.
you did
there
that.
we go. And the other writers as well. Anthony, you know, I talked to them all.
Well, Gaga was looking amazing, and they won Best Pop Duo. I should say Gaga won Best Pop Duo or Group Performance alongside Bradley Cooper, who could not be there because he is at the BAFTA.
I did talk to them about the awards that they won earlier in the night. They had a group chat going, and I asked, like, what was Gaga's response to it, and they said more explanation points and emojis that you can even count. It was a lot of the cowboy boots emoji is what they said.
It's kind of insane how you can win a BAFTA, which, by the way, guys, is like the British equivalent of the Oscar. How you can win a BAFTA and a Grammy in the same night. That's how good Shallow is. And thankfully, Miss Gaga, Mother Monster, performed the song live at the Grammys. It was a little rendition.
version. But explain why you think she did this.
Should we take a look at it first?
Yeah, let's take a look.
Let's
Okay.
watch it. Shallow. She was giving us a little glam rock there. How dare
They
you?
better
There you
hire
go.
you
I
for
was
the
like,
Oscars,
She was
honey.
giving us all of this hairography,
I can't.
the bedazzle, the makeup. It was everything.
I thought we were going to get a little wardrobe malfunction. At one point, she was rocking out.
It was not the version I was expecting, though, as much as I loved it.
Explain why, because this was interesting.
I feel like the Academy of Motion Pictures Arts and Sciences are really strict when it comes to who they have present and who they have perform at the Oscars. I feel like they probably told Gaga, you can sing this at the Grammys, but only if you do it differently than what you and Bradley will do at the Oscars, because again, Bradley's going to perform Shallow with her at the Academy Awards. So I think this was her chance to, you know, give us glam rock Gaga.
And I do believe we have a little clip of Gaga from backstage. Let's take a look.
Gaga, how was it being a part of that amazing opening?
It was incredible. I'm having so much fun. I feel so blessed. I feel grateful. I've been a part of the Grammy community for 10 years now, and just to be here to celebrate all these beautiful artists is wonderful, and I'm just happy for everyone, and I can't wait to perform.
That was Lady Gaga talking to ET's Kevin Frazier. That was actually right after the opening, not after her performance, but good night for Lady Gaga. Yeah, and she looked fabulous, which we'll get into in a minute.
You know who else had a good night and was looking fabulous? Your fave, Dolly Parton.
Oh, I thought you were talking about me.
Oh, you did too. Girl, you
I had a good night because I talked to Dolly.
Yeah.
This smile that you're seeing is because I've talked to Dolly Parton twice this weekend, Friday night and tonight.
It's kind of hard to believe that Dolly's performance tonight was the first time performing in 18 years at the Grammy Awards.
It's unbelievable. I mean, the woman still has it. She
does.
still has it. And she was dressed to the nines in her sequins and her glitter and shebang and all of that. I don't know. Do we have a little clip of her, of the performance or anything? Can we show? Oh, we have red carpet. Okay,
We'll take it.
Let's take a look at that.
Now, Dolly, first time returning to the Grammy stage since 2001.
Well, it's about time I got here again, ain't it?
Yeah. We missed you.
Thank you. I missed you too.
It's going to be so special tonight. I mean, you've got some of the most amazing performers, young performers who are paying tribute tonight. And, you know, I saw some of the rehearsal and you were completely running the show as we'd expect. How was it up there on that stage with so much amazing talent?
Well, it was exciting singing with all those young gals and all those wonderful artists. And I'm just excited to be here. It's been a wonderful weekend with the Music Cares honor. And so it's been a nice time for me. I just hope I hold up through the show and sing good and make everybody happy and enjoy it.
In particular, you know, watching you and Miley perform together, because I know it goes deeper than just, you know, respect. You're family. I mean, you know, watching her grow into the artist she is right now and the kind of vocalist she is right now from your perspective. I mean, just a few words on Miley and what she means to you.
Well, Miley is dear to me. I think Miley's one of the most talented people I know. She's a great host. Her comedic timing is absolutely great. Great actress. She sings and writes great, and I just love her to pieces. I'm glad she's mine.
Oh, Dolly, you're far too kind. Far too kind, Dolly.
I'm glad Dolly's ours. We love you, Dolly. Protect her at all costs.
She is a national treasure. But her performance was so good tonight. Yeah. It was just, obviously she was joined by a lot of heavy hitters tonight. Casey Musgraves, Mira Morris, Little Big Town, of course,
nostalgic.
Miley Cyrus, and then she performed, you know, kind of on her own too, and it was nostalgic. And like ending with 9 to 5 all together. Yeah. I mean, all the feels.
Let's take a look at it right now. Maybe the best part about that clip is BTS just jamming out to Dolly Parton.
Well, that was so
they were seated
funny
behind
is because they were seated right behind Dolly and Chris Stapleton. And that is something that I've been wanting to ask all three of them on the red carpet is if they know each other. Don't worry, I didn't. But I think it's so funny. Like, I wonder if they clearly know who she is. I was
gonna say, Dolly got to Korea.
Her country music,
oh,
yeah.
100%.
Well, Dolly's an icon. You could recognize her everywhere.
Angeline a classic, like everyone knows.
Yeah.
All right, guys. The Latinos, though, were also representing tonight. Another performance that stole the night was from opening act Camila Cabello, Ricky Martin, and J Balvin.
The Latin superstars performed a mix of Camila's Havana and J Balvin's hit Mi Gente. Let's take a look.
Say yeah, 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 yeah.
Oh, so colorful.
Ooh, I gotta pour more sparkling water for Ricky Martin when he comes on camera.
On that one, okay?
He was, I will say, so he rushed through the red carpet, so I didn't have a chance to talk to him. But he was, Denny, he was right here, and I was like, shake your bomba, shake your bomba.
You were my first crush.
Yeah, mine too, at 7 years old.
He had to rush in for the opening number. But you know what's so amazing about this performance? First of all, what a coveted spot in the show, and they gave it to Latin artists. Yes. You know what I mean? Because obviously in 2018, I mean, we're in the middle of what I've been calling a Latin music explosion. You know, I mean, people, it's cyclical, but you know, last year with the showing of Despacito, I was hoping people, the Latin music would come back in a big way, and they did. It didn't end with Despacito.
It was a common theme tonight on the red carpet. We talked about the representation and just
Exactly.
all of the crossovers and what it means to all the Latin artists, and they just have so much gratitude. It's so amazing to see.
And to include Ricky Martin in this, who, you know, burst onto the scene at least
Hasn't performed
globally
in a minute at the
in North
Grammys.
America at the Grammys, you know, back in the day. But I also want to mention that Camila's performance, as she said, was actually a tribute to her grandmother, where she grew up in Havana and stuff. So I thought it was just an amazing opening to the show.
And E.T. actually caught up with Camila right before she took the stage. Here it is.
Now, what can we expect from your opening performance?
You know what? I definitely feel a little bit nervous right now, but I think the more nerves, the better the show.
Okay.
You know, but it's based on my family. It's based on specifically kind of my grandma's upbringing. She was, you know, raised in Havana in this thing called a solar habanero, which is basically like a poor person's, it's like a big house, but every family has one room in the house.
Okay.
And there's like a common patio that everybody shares, and so musicians would go and like jam out and stuff, and my grandma would always be there dancing and like singing with people, and so the whole thing is basically based off that vibe. It's like a big Latin block party. So it will feel like a party.
It was.
She brought the party.
She brought the party.
She brought the party. She hosted the party.
Set the tone for the night, and then also I have to say I think she did her grandma proud.
Well, speaking of parties, we're going to keep this post-party going. So head on over to the live stream on etlive.com.
You guys can also download our app. We're available on Roku, Apple TV, Amazon Fire, Android, and iOS. So stick with us for all about Grammys, everything Grammys here on ET Live. Cheers, girl.